Oh boy. Oh boy. So, I'm certain you all have seen the news as of today, but an important case, one of the big cases in American history that existed for many years, has unfortunately been reversed. It's no longer a thing anymore. And what is that? And what is that act? And what is that, you asked? I'm talking about Roe v. Wade. I will say my thoughts. I'll say my thoughts about it. But first, let me give you a history lesson. What is Roe v. Wade? Well, Roe v. Wade was a landmark decision of the Supreme Court, which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States generally protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion. It was stated by the Due Process Clause on the 14th Amendment to the Constitution that provides a fundamental right to privacy. Not only it's the woman's right to have an abortion, but they'll be protected by it. But the court ruled that the right to abortion is not absolute and must be balanced against the government's interest in protecting women's health and prenatal life. They resolved those issues by announcing a trimester timetable to govern all abortion regulations in the United States. In the first trimester, governments could not regulate abortion at all except to require that abortion be performed by a licensed physician. In the second trimester, governments could regulate the abortion procedure, but only for the purpose of protecting maternal health and not for protecting fetal life. After viability, which includes the third trimester of pregnancy and the last few weeks of the second trimester, abortions could be regulated and even prohibited, but only if the laws provided exceptions for abortions necessary to save the life or health of the mother. The court also classified the right to abortion as fundamental, which requires courts to evaluate, challenge abortion laws under the strict scrutiny standard, the most stringent level of judicial review in the United States. And this was made with a 7-2 decision. Yeah, so basically, Roe v. Wade was a big thing in America. It was one of those court cases where it involving human rights. So with Roe, because back before this was made, women didn't have the right to make an abortion, or like before that it was illegal. So back then, if you were a woman back before 1973, and you're pregnant and you wanted and you don't want to be a parent and don't want to have the child, so unfortunately, unless you can put them up for adoption, you're stuck with them, whether you like it or not. But Roe v. Wade changed that. It's like either it gives them the right to choose whether to have the baby or not have the baby. Of course, women didn't only have abortions because they don't want to be parents at all. But other cases, it's because they can't, because they're not ready. They don't have the finance needed to take care of a family and all that. Or maybe it's that they know they're going to be a terrible parent, that they're going to be a danger to this kid, and don't want to cause trouble. And maybe because she's a single mother and can't do everything herself, especially if she's single and if the family's not there to help her out. But I mean, whatever reason a woman had a reason to make an abortion, if she wanted to have an abortion, she can. I mean, it's gonna kill the kid. I can definitely say that, but but that's what they choose to happen. So that was made. On January 22nd, 1973. It was, and if you look back, it took place, it's like nearly 50 years ago. And now, today, on June 24th, 2022, Roe v. Wade, a great court case, a case that makes an example of human rights, has been reversed. In the Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. So what this means is that the right to privacy is gone. Abortion is illegal again. Several women, like the back of the days before Roe v. Wade existed, now that this case is done, now that this case has been removed, now they'll be reliving those times where if you're pregnant and gonna have a kid, it doesn't matter what you think, and it doesn't matter what your situation is, you're stuck with the kid. So their rights are gone and everything, and that's bad enough. But what makes it even worse is that this time around it was a 5-4 split. There are 9 justices in the Supreme Court. So looking at that, one justice decided it all. It's like it was at a point where if it's like 4 justices said that abortion should be legal, and another side and the majority say that it should be illegal. It's like if the score was the other way around, it would be a completely different outcome, and Roe v. Wade would have still been around, and the rights of abortion, rights to privacy, some rights for the women would still be there right now. But with this, all of that is gone. And that has angered so many people. Of course, Roe v. Wade is not dead in the entirety of the United States because after that case, this has become a state decision. So the states, it's a state rights issue. So that they were able to determine themselves whether. So it means the states have the power to choose whether or not to ban abortion. So there are some states where abortion rights are still there, meaning that if you want to have a kid, you can have a kid. If you don't want to have a kid and you need to get an abortion, you can do that. You'll likely be judged for this, but it's your right, your choice, and no one can stop you from doing that. But in other states, you have no choice. You're stuck. You're stuck with your kid. And you're going to have to find a way to make things better for yourself and possibly the kid. Because if you can't, you're screwed. So it's still being decided of those states. There are some states that made abortion legal, others made it illegal. Some they'll likely ban abortion, and there are some that still don't know. But from what I can say, as of now, as I'm recording this video, if you live in my state of New York, if you live in New York, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Illinois, Minnesota, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Colorado, who will likely win the Stanley Cup tonight as I'm recording this, New Mexico, Arkansas, and Hawaii. You still have, if you live in any of those states, your abortion rights, the right to privacy is still there. So as I said, if you want to have a kid, you can have a kid. If you don't want to have a kid, you don't have to. Whatever you decide is all up to you. If you live in Arizona, Montana, Nebraska, Kansas, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, and Florida, for now, it is uncertain. Right now, it's like if you want to have your kid, you can just relax and do what you need to do. But for those that want to have an abortion, know that right now you need to sit there and pray to God that your state becomes those states that allows you to keep your abortion rights and right to privacy. You just gotta pray and make sure you get what you need and deserve and all that. If you live in Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama, these are the states that will likely take your rights away. So right now, you need to figure out what you need to do for yourself and for that kid quickly. Because if you don't do it quick, you're screwed. But if you live on the rest of the states, like if you live in Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Kentucky, you're screwed. Because these states, because your rights are definitely gone. Which means whether or not you want to have a kid, doesn't matter what you think, you're stuck. You're screwed. Many of you are outraged by this decision, and it's just really sad, especially since there are more serious problems in the world. It's like, I mean, like some have, and sides are different. One side are very upset, and they felt like slaves again, and they felt like their life is ruined and all that. But the other side are happy to be like, this is a big win. Now for that side, if you define human rights being taken away and possibly ruin the lives of some women, a win, then something is wrong with you. Like even women in the states, even some women politicians are happy that abortion is illegal. And that's not even cool. I mean, it's like there are bigger problems in this. There are bigger problems in this world. It's like people are complaining about this one too much. It's like there are bigger problems in this world that you could have spent your time complaining about. You could have complained about gun control. You could have complained about child safety. You could complain. You could have complained about racism. You could have complained about the crime rate in this state. These are bigger problems in this world that should be more focused. Any of those you spend your time complaining about, that is fine and it makes sense. But no, the biggest problem in the world is abortion. The biggest problem in this world are human rights. And that is not cool. There's so many bigger problems. Hell, I'm dealing with one myself. And what is that? What is it I'm dealing, you ask? Well, I won't say it yet, but when the time comes, I will. But there are bigger problems in this world that you should be focused on. Why couldn't you do it there? So it's like by getting rid of an abortion, you think that making abortion illegal is going to solve all the problems. It's going to solve world peace. But it isn't. It just makes things worse, because now the women that are pregnant, they're going to be stuck with it. And if they don't plan everything, if they don't have the support, they're screwed. And all that. It's like all the rights are taken away. And all that. And I get it. I get why several of you wanted abortion to be illegal. I know why some of you are happy that abortion is banned. Because by making an abortion, you're basically killing your fetus, killing the fetus, killing the child, and which is murder. And murder is bad. I get it. I get why you're mad about it, and I know your reasoning makes perfect sense. But it is not your decision of whether or not a woman should have a kid. The only ones who get to decide that are the mothers. It's a mother's right to decide whether or not to have their kid. And now, unless they're living in a state where their rights are still there, it's taken away from them. I mean, it's like what the side saying that they're happy that abortion is banned are basically saying we're happy that women are slaves. We're happy that women have their rights taken away from them. We're happy that the lives of some mothers are ruined. It's like these people are living in the time before 1920, when an amendment was made for women to have rights and to vote and all that. It's like if your definition of a win is taking away the rights of people, there's something wrong with you. There's really something wrong with you. I mean, and this case and this decision is just not good at all. I mean, it's like that. It was a bad move that the Supreme Court did. It's really bad. It's like at this point, they might as well say things like, if you want to have a kid, get married, get into a relationship. If you don't want to have a kid, stay single. Or other things like if you get raped, it's your fault. Or it's saying things like, if you don't want to have kids, don't go to a bar, don't have fun, stay miserable. It's like, how is that going to make them feel? How does that make them feel? Definitely unhappy. Like hell, I'm single and all. I'm single and all that, and even I'm not planning. Even if I was in a relationship, I'm definitely not planning on having kids. Because I'm a busy person. I have many things in my life. There's things I want to do. I don't want something to get in my way, and all that. And if it does, I don't want to face a dilemma where I either give up my hopes and dreams and spend it all on a kid, or choose to keep going to my future, abandoning the kid, and making them, my love, and the family and the whole world sad. It's like, I don't want to give up my hopes and dreams, and I don't want to make anyone sad. This case, this is definitely a case that will live in infamy, and it's gonna cause more violence in a long time. It's really a sad day in American history, and it's just not good at all. Like, for those who are living in, all I can say is that if you're living in states, to the women watching this, to possibly the future mothers that are watching this video, if you're from a state where you can have an abortion, where your rights are there, so I'm happy that your rights are still there. I'm happy that the rights aren't taken away from you. It's like, it's your body, your life, your choice. But to the other women, to the future moms, or living in states where abortion is illegal, all I gotta say is, I am so sorry that this has happened. I'm sorry that your rights were taken away. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry that your life may possibly be ruined and all that. I am praying for you, and I'm hoping that you make it out alive, and I hope things get better from you, for you. Oh, and also, Clarence Thomas. Just, why? Why did you choose to overturn Roe v. Wade? Why couldn't you just vote to keep it? If you'd done that, Roe v. Wade would still be there. It's not only going to be a very painful, but very dangerous time. We're gonna have a very dangerous next few days, and it's really going to get ugly.